Andrea, you talk about being the voice of your estate agency. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, I think people get very confused with what tone of voice is and how important it is. I think when you talk of branding, people are very visual. Yeah, it means a logo, it means our colours, it means how our things are designed, and that's all beautiful. And that's our brand, that's who we are. But they're missing one vital element, and that's the voice, and that's the words that you use that describes the character and the essence of who you are as an agency.
Okay.
And that is as much important as to do with branding as every other element of your agency.
Okay, so go a little bit further on that. What does a good voice look like, and what does it do for estate agents?
Well, a good voice is a voice that's individual, that really is who you are. You know, it's very easy to go, we do it all the time, and you go on estate agent websites and they read exactly the same, as though the same person has written the words. And they do sound exactly the same, but they might all say, we are the best estate agency, we are
local property experts,
we are the number one in the area, but yet the words that they use don't make them sound different to the guy next door. So your voice is providing that individuality. It's actually demonstrating why you are a good agent. It's not all about show and tell. You know, you've got to actually prove it and say why. I think one of my biggest annoyances is when people use cliches in their copy. Everyone's got go above and beyond and go the extra mile. And actually, what does that mean?
Well, if they're all going beyond taking the extra mile, they're all the same, aren't they?
But what does it mean? What does that physically look like?
It means going beyond the mark. Well, there you go. You've got me there.
Yeah, exactly. It's about what that experience feels like for the consumer. If you can't describe that experience and you can't tell them how that is different, then how do you expect them to understand it? If you say we go the extra mile, that actually does not mean anything. It's just words.
Okay, so why are words so powerful?
Because it's one of our major ways of communicating, isn't it? Mm. You know, we use words vocally, we read words visually. It's one of our major ways of communicating. So if you want to communicate with your clients, words are a way that we express that. And those branding words should be used when you go out for valuations as well as in your brochure.
So how, as an estate agent, do you think you'll look at your website if you think your voice is right or not? How can someone judge whether it's the right sort of voice?
Well, you should understand what your key values are for a start. So if you're finding your tone of voice from the beginning, you need to start with what your values are as an agency. And I would say this is an exercise that you can do as a team or as individual, and then come together and see how far apart you think the values of agency are.
Because I know you help agents with this. What sort of exercise do you do? Do you sit down with them and go through and talk to them about what they stand for? Is that what it's about?
Yeah, I ask them a series of questions, and those questions for me allow me to try and pull out what I believe their tone of voice is. I ask them to go through a value exercise where they do go through and pick out what values they represent. They're not allowed to use certain words. They're allowed to use words that everybody else will have, like I'm professional, passionate. Those are words that everybody else is going to have. What is it that's unique to you? And it's those elements that we need to draw on. Sometimes
do you find what the negs and valuers say and what the boss say are different?
Yeah, and that's where your problem is, because not everybody's singing from the same tune. You can tell everybody to use the same logo, but you've also got to tell them to use the same voice, because if the two voices are different and everyone's going out saying different things, then it comes back as slightly confused and disjointed.
So how can bosses bring that all together? Is it a case of just sitting down and talking about it and agreeing what the voice is?
You create a tone of voice document, and this tone of voice document, like a branding document, is like the religious Bible of what people can use. And it tells you exactly what really you're supposed to say, how you're supposed to say it, phrases, not going down to every single sentence you might do.
So that sounds very like a fascist state where
it's not like that. You might have keywords and phrases that you as a company will want to use, you know, taglines and strap lines, things that you've brought out through your branding exercise and through your voice, and being able to use those freely. It might be things that you want to express, the key messages that you want clients to go away with, so those key messages are consistent. It's things like that that then bring the voice together and the voice alive for that agent. It's when one person is delivering their key message, another is delivering their key message, that's when people go, well, what are they? Are they this? Are they that? that's where things go.
So what can happen when agents all sing off the same hymn sheet when it comes to their voice? And when we're talking voice, we're talking about what they say on the ground, what they say on their promotional material, what they say on their website, everything, aren't we?
Yeah, we're saying everything from brochures to letters to emails to blog posts, social media. I mean, if they're all sounding the same, then why would a client choose you? What is it about you that is going to make a buyer come to you to buy property from you, a seller to list their property with you, you know, a landlord or a tenant? Why are they going to come to you if you don't tell them the reasons why?
But surely in this day and age, people don't read reams and reams and reams of stuff nowadays, do they?
They want to have some kind of trust element. I think the way that the society is different in is people are wanting to shop more local than ever before. We want to go and be connected to a local brand. I've recently, in the last couple of years, moved back to my hometown. I will go for a coffee at an independent rather than I will at a chain. I want to go support my local small businesses. And I think people are very keen for that. And the same goes for estate agents as well. We want to support the local.
Well, let's be honest, we're one of the only industries where just about 100% of our business is based on our locality. Do you think we should play more on that as estate agents and letting agents?
Yes, explain, you know, that you're local, that you know the local streets, that you know the properties. You know, you want somebody who feels is invested in where you're living as you are. You know, you want to know that they're passionate about that street, passionate about the community, and they want to share that with you. And sadly, that sometimes doesn't always come across.
Interesting. Thank you, Andrea.
Thank you.